Good evening and welcome to Reading to the 246. My name is Karen Wall, but you can call me Auntie Karen. Reading 246 is a space where children of all ages can learn facts about Barbados, meet and interact with Barbadian authors and their books, and listen to some popular and some not so well-known Barbadians as they share their stories. This evening, children, we have two special guests. We have G. Addinton Forde, along with his daughter, the wonderful Dale Forde. G. Addinton Forde, go ahead, Dale. Welcome again.
Yes, Karen, thank you so much for having me. I am here kind of in person, but not in person, online. But my dad obviously is going to be coming through a recorded interview, but he called me before we started and he wanted me to say hello to everybody and he wanted me to thank you for having him, even if it's by recording on this show. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, dear. Okay, so who is G. Addinton Forde? G. Addinton Forde was born in the parish of St. Philip in 1945. He was educated at St. Mark's Boys' School and the Law School, and subsequently at the Addinton Teachers Training College. Now, we already have two things in common. I attended law school, and I also attended the Addinton Teachers Training College. After that, he went on to the Careful campus of the University of the West Indies, where he specialized in English literature, including West Indian literature. After working at the Barbados Advocate, he moved to the Princess Margaret Secondary School in St. Philip, where he taught English, art, and physical education. Next, the National Cultural Foundation, where he remained as the cultural officer for Barbadian folklore. His interest in folklore is long-standing. He has written a large number of articles on this and similar topics for The Nation and its related newspapers and for CBC Barbados. He's also a co-author for A to Z of Barbadian Heritage. He has also been involved in a number of stage and television productions as a writer, a producer, and an actor. Many will know him as the Calypsonian Addinton. And here's a little known fact. He was the founder and a member of the Conqueror's Calypso tent. And he has also been active in the Calypso world as a record producer and a judge. I better don't sing because I know I wouldn't get anywhere. So over to Addinton Forde as he shares his love for Barbados through his story, Ossie Moore.
I am G. Addinton Forde, author of a number of books, including Ossie Moore and It Happened in Barbados. This book, It Happened in Barbados, I had given the little write-up about Ossie, and I had included some Ossie Moore jokes. And then somebody, this R.J. Watson, a reader and a friend of mine, suggested to me, why don't you do an Ossie Moore book? And I said, no, that's a good idea. So I did, and came up with this. I've never met him, but Peggy McGarry, she was writing something about him, and she went and interviewed him. And he said, my lady, most of what I said about me ain't true. So you can write what I like. Something like that he said. Well, I envision if he was living back in the 60s and so on, I envision how the men in those days were dressed with fairly big trousers, and he has them with his trouser leg rolled up. In those days, fellas used to wear some homemade shoes, shoes made of like the bottom of cartel and so on. One or two people wore that, so I invested in that. And of course, the hat. Ossie Moore was off being there one day in a Moses boat, fishing with another man. The two accidentally went to the side of the boat together and it capsized, dumping them into the sea. But Moses boat is a very small boat. Ossie stuck up for shore with his fishing companion screaming after him all the time. Help me, Ossie, help me, I can't swim too good. Ossie ignored him, continued swimming. He crawled up on the beach and panted, good. I said to myself, now I'm going back and see if he. There was a time, remember he talked about everybody wearing a hat, a cap. And one time it became fashionable to wear a cap with the peak behind. Ossie wanted to adopt the fashion. He went in the store and told the attendant, I want one of them caps with the peak behind. She told him that there was no such cap, and she placed one on his head, then turned the peak around. He said, I don't want that. All the boys bung, but me got hat with the peak behind and I want one. The attendant went back inside and brought out the same cap, holding it with the peak towards her. That is the one I want.
Sorry. Who knew Ossie Moore was a real Barbadian man who attended primary school just like you and me? Now, I've already got my copy, and I'm not sure if I want to share it with my 8-year-old or just keep it for myself. Dale, tell us a bit more about the concept behind the book and where we can purchase it from.
The Ossie Moore Activity Book is actually based on where you saw my dad talking about the Ossie Moore book, which he wrote several years ago. And you will see that the two covers are different. So the idea behind it was to introduce Ossie Moore to a new and younger audience and to make it fun. So we decided to do it in two ways. We did the animations, the Ossie Moore animations, which are voiced. The scrappy voice, which you'll hear later, is by Tony Thompson, and the actual voice of Ossie Moore is Ishaka McNeil. And the Tokban music you're hearing under it is from Punka. So we decided that we wanted to, to give a new kind of energy to it because people are still asking for the books and it is in a particular age group. So we just wanted to introduce it to a new audience. So we decided to do the animations and we decided to do the activity book. The animations for all ages, but it seems now the activity book is for all ages because it's usually for children 5 years and older. But a lot of mature people are buying it and actually using it as an activity book. So that's interesting.
Well, perhaps I'm a child at heart. Because when I opened the book and I started going through it, it was just like, I love all of these activities. But if I wanted to get one, I know I saw Cloister. Where else can I get the book from? Where else can I purchase it from?
You can get the books from Cloister bookstores in Bridgetown and Sheraton. And you can also get them from the Barbados Museum. You can call me at 571-5670 and we can organize to deliver a copy to you. But I live in St. Philip and I can't do it every day. So it may be easier to go into the bookstores and get them from the bookstores. But before we move on, Karen, I really want to give kudos to my partner in creating this book, Marquita Phillips. She did a fantastic job with this book. We had the idea and it was kind of raw idea in my head, but she really took it and really made it into what you have in your hands now. And she did a really good job. And I just want to publicly thank her because that book would not be what it is without the work and effort and time that she put into it.
Definitely thank you, Marquita, because I am enjoying my copy of the book. Now, one of my favorite activities from the book is tic-tac-toe. It is one of the games our club members, our Access Club members would have played with each other online during the summer. And I love how it has been incorporated into the book. Another aspect of the book I love is the use of local items that remind of being a child growing up, like marbles, mangoes, and a ripe lizard. There was a ripe lizard.
Well, actually, that came from a joke from Ossie Moore because I can't remember. I think it is in the book, but because they're green lizards, he said that he was going to put down a lizard to write. So in the book, because Marquita and they had this conversation, like they would never hear about her rape lizard. Girl, it's not rape lizard. Is anything you want it to be? So we decided to put it in the book. So when you are asked the question, you can make a rape lizard any color you want it to be. It's not a specific color.
Okay, so I can paint my
red, yellow, orange, blue, whatever color you think right is, that's the color that you can make it.
Okay, now children, we have some activities for you. We have our first activity is the standpipe activity. What are some of the things that you would have gone to the standpipe and you would have seen at the standpipe? So I'm going to the book, my page in the book. So going to the standpipe.
I think that's near to the closer to the beginning of the book where you're gonna see.
Look, I am just so caught up, and I'm just like turning the page, and I'm still looking at.
It's a big book. It's 54. It's actually 52 pages. 52 pages, and it's 2 pages, 2 cover pages. So it's about 54 pages. So it's a big book.
And chock full of activities. Now, what is the community standpipe? Some people did not have running water in their houses in the 1900s. Could you imagine not having running water? To get water to take a bath, brush their teeth, and to clean dishes, they had to go outside and use the standpipe. They sometimes walked a long distance to collect the water in buckets for storage at home. Now, for this activity, you have to use your crayons or markers to color the picture. So I want you to go use your imagination and go all the way back to the 1900s and think of how, say, perhaps your grandmother or your great-grandmother would have looked going to the standpipe with that bucket on her head, or even having to wash your clothes there at the standpipe. And not only that, because it wasn't just for you to just go and do these things, but imagine the conversations that they would have had, sharing the local news and all of those types of things that would have gone on during the 1900s. Another activity that was also interesting was the marbles. Now let's see who can answer this question. Let's do some math. Ossie has 20 marbles. If Ossie has twice as many marbles as his brother, how many marbles does Ossie Moore have? So if Ossie has 20 marbles and he has twice as many marbles as his brother, how many marbles are there in all? You can type your answers in the chat, children. Yes. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Ossie loved to pitch marbles. His mommy gave him 5 marbles. His daddy gave him 3, and he won 8. How many marbles did Ossie have? So you have 2 questions. We have one for our older learners. If Ossie had twice as many marbles as his brother, if he had 20. And for our younger learners, we had Ossie loved to pitch marbles. His mommy gave him 5 marbles. His daddy gave him 3, and he won 8. How many marbles does Ossie Moore have? So you can type your answers in the chat. And remember, you are getting the opportunity, if you answer these questions correctly, is that to win prizes.
Karen, somebody's trying to work out the question. I can hear them.
Yes.
They have an opportunity if they get the answer right. The first person to get the answer right, as you said, Karen, will get a signed copy of the activity book. My dad was saying the activity book, and his mommy or daddy would get a signed copy of the Ossie Moore book as well. So there are two giveaways. One, the activity book, a signed copy of that, and then a signed copy of the Ossie Moore book for it, for mommy or daddy or granny. We read books too. So yeah, we have two prizes to give away.
So I'm seeing a Kalia with 8. I'm also seeing a Chaz as well. So we will definitely go through. So I'm seeing 16 and I'm seeing 8. I'm seeing 16, 16, 16. And what about the first one? If Ossie Moore had 20 marbles and his brother has twice as many, how many marbles does his brother have? I'm saying 40, so good. So there we have two winners there.
Yay, congratulations to them.
Yes, good. So Ossie Moore wasn't only famous for his jokes. Check out his animation, as Dale said, voiced by Tony Thompson and Ishaka McNeil, and listen to one of his favorite jokes. And let me see who's better at spelling.
Ossie Moore was a real man born on the 30th of March 1900 in Lanes Gap, Thames Bay, St. James. His real name was George Ethelbert Oscar Moore. Jokes attributed to him were common in the 1950s and 1960s. They were either a strange twist in logic, an inability to appreciate figurative language, or just plain corny. They usually started, wait, you hear this one? You hear the latest one about Ossie Moore? When Ossie Moore was a little boy at school, the teacher asked him one day to spell cow. He spelt it K-O-W. And the teacher punished him. Outside, Ossie complained to one of his classmates.
We just little children, and she is always give me big things like cow to spell instead of giving me little things like mosquito.
There's just something about the top band that just makes me feel like dancing. Dale reminds me of going down Bridgetown Market on a Saturday morning and just dancing. Yes, it just gets me in the mood. Children don't
Yeah,
feel
we
like dancing.
definitely we wanted it to be very Bajan because Ossie Moore is a Barbadian legend. And everything in the music is Bajan, the story is Bajan, it's written by Bajans, it's performed by Bajans. So you have to have Toba music in there.
But I still can't believe that Ossie Moore was actually a real man.
Yeah, he was. And as my dad said, he was a real man, and he was not a highly intellectual person, but he was not stupid either. And a lot of the jokes are attributed to him. These aren't things that actually happened to him or things that he said. So, and this is very common, like Thompson said in the opening in the 60s and 70s. So you don't really hear people talking about Ossie Moore much anymore, but it's a very, very very central and rich part of our Barbadian heritage, which we're trying to kind of, like I say, share with the new and younger generation.
And I definitely think that the younger generation and the younger children, they are appreciating the book. As you said, the older adults are also appreciating the book. It's bringing us back memories of us. Mm-hmm. Me as a child growing up, when I think about Ossie Moore, I think about on the tamarind tree, taking up granny stockings and making this like a juice skipping and pitching marbles. Right. Yes. And all those types of
and things. Those things are important, even though we've moved on as a society, those things are important. They're part of our heritage. If we don't know where we are or who we are, we don't know where we will be going or who we can become. So those things are important as well for young people to know. And we've had a lot of traction on TikTok. It's on TikTok, and it's doing very well on TikTok. We're seeing people, different machinations of it and cutting it short and doing different things with it. So, we're really happy about that.
You saw the girls' expression in animation? Like,
yeah.
yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us about the animation.
The animations were done by Carla Bello. Actually, this is the second animated series we've done. Our company, The Mark Communique, this is the second. In 2006, for the island's 50th anniversary, 2016, for the island's 50th anniversary, we did a series called Route 10, and all this is under the Route 10 project. So the first leg of the Route 10 project was the Route 10 TV show, which was all about St. Philip. And there were stories that actually happened in St. Philip's. I think we did 5 or 6 animations. Included in that was what Paddy shot at. And those were included in the animations, and then we pulled them out, and CBC was running them for a while outside of the 13-part TV series. We'd always wanted to do the Ossie Moore animations, but as you know, everything comes at a cost and it's relatively expensive. And we were fortunate enough to secure funding from the Division of Culture in the Prime Minister's office. And we say a special thank you to the team, Dr. Donna Green, Rodney Grant, the Permanent Secretary, Jehu Wilcher, and the entire team who worked with us to make sure that this came about by providing the funding under the UNESCO Heritage Intangible Heritage Fund. And we were able to do the animations and the book. So we're hoping as we go forward that we'll be able to attract more funding, because there are other parts of the Route 10 project that we want to bring to light.
Yes, because that was my next question. I hope this is not going to be the only one. I hope that there's going to be a collection.
No. It's a series. We're actually going to do 10 in this Ossie Moore Activity Book series. We're already working on one for national heroes, because we think that is important. Even though we're moving into a republic, we still are who we are and who we've been. So a lot of children, it comes around at independence, but we want, even outside of that they know who the national heroes are, the official national heroes. And then we're also going to be including national heroes within specific communities, particularly St. Philip community. So that's what we're working on. We're hoping to get that out within the first quarter of next year.
Nice. I am totally looking forward to that. So
thank you.
Definitely. Now, I believe some of the children joining us, they may have already purchased their activity books. Can a child share with us one of their favorite activities from the book? So if you've already purchased one of the books, you can raise your hands and I'll let you just share what is your favorite activity from the book. Yes, Kalia's hand is up.
One of my favorite activities is one of the mazes and coloring.
Oh. So which quiz is that? Do you want to quiz Auntie Karen, Kalia? Let me see. Let me test my Ossie Moore knowledge tonight.
Well, then you really just like.
Let's see. So
I just wanted to say here that Kalia's mommy was our very first customer. She was the first person to buy 2 of the books. We're so thankful and grateful to Kalia's mommy for that. Thank you to Kalia and her mommy so much, because we saw the first book, so like, hey! So thank you for that.
You're welcome. So great. Let me hear Kalia now. Let me see. She's gonna test Auntie Karen today. Let's hear. Sitting up in my chair like a good student. Yes, please, Kalia.
Can I turn on my camera?
Yes, please. If your mom is fine with that.
We want to see you, if that's okay.
Yes.
Do I?
Hello, my lovely.
Hello.
You can go ahead, Kalia.
So what I want to do is ask you, I want to play a little game, like who can get through the first maze the fastest.
She's looking, sending me to find the maze. Where's the maze? Where's the maze? Where's the maze? Where's the maze?
And that's also a part of the thing. Is the maze
Kalia, you had your butt longer than me, you know. You had your butt longer than me, so you have to really search for the maze.
Here's a little clue to find it. Is the one with the pig at the end.
Dale is the one with the pig at the end.
I'm trying to label all of them, and it's page 8.
Thank you, Kalia. You made my life so much easier.
You're welcome. I already got through this maze though.
So how you expect me to get through the maze and you already get through the maze already? I found it. Okay, I am ready. I am rubbing my hands. I am ready. So let me go. Soup. Oh shoot, I bought a roadblock. I have to turn that around.
I also like that there's answers at the back, because with some of these activities, I don't know how to do them.
Yeah, you put the answers in the back, because when I was a child, I loved activity books, and I didn't like activity books that didn't have the answers. So I like the answers. I didn't cheat, but I always wanted to make sure whether it was right or not. So we made sure that we put the answers in the back. So I'm glad you like that.
Thank you very much, Kalia.
But,
So this brings me now to the. Thank you
there's
very
one.
much.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
The one that has fill in the bridge tone, the tones.
Mm-hmm.
I know most of these is bridge tone, whole tone, ice tones, and spice tone, but there's one in the middle that I don't know.
And what I'll do, I'll check it out, because now it's time for a Bajan mash up. Okay, welcome back to our Bajan mash up segment. Now, in this segment,
the questions are coming to me?
Yes, fast and furious, Dale. Fast and furious.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Your first question, where did you attend primary school?
I went to 2 primary schools. I started at 4 Rose, which is now Randall Weeks in St. Philip, because I'm a born and bred Philippine. Very proud of that. And then I was transferred to Bailey's Primary, which is not the Bailey's Primary it is now. It was just a church, which looked so huge when I was a child. And they grew up in it's just a really small church. Like, we learned. Everything was so pushed up. But yeah, two primary schools.
Yes. Second question. Do you remember the name of your favorite primary school teacher?
I had 2 favorite primary school teachers. I loved all my primary school teachers. They were so good to me. But the one who really made an impact on me, the 2 that really made an impact on me was Maureen Smith, who was my class 4 teacher. And then when she went on long leave, she was replaced by Mr. Clark, who was there for a term. And he encouraged me to become a journalist, because we had to write an essay about what do you want to be when I grow up. And I wanted to be an air hostess. And he was like, no, you're a good writer. You should be a journalist. And that's what I am.
Yeah. The most popular Bajan dish you can cook?
Bakes. That's it. Don't ask me nothing about cooking. I'm fortunate enough to grow up in a family of great cooks. I don't have to cook. My daughters can cook and bake. My mom, everybody, even my brother. So I can do bakes. That's it.
I can come with you on Independence Day for bakes then.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite reading book growing up as a child?
Enid Blyton. I don't even see Enid Blyton anymore. The Magic Faraway Tree. Oh, that was my book. Every and anything. I mean, even though as you grow up now, you realize that there were some characters in there like the God Walk, which, have some connotations, when you're wiser now. But, I loved any book by Enid Blyton and Nancy Drew. I love Nancy Drew.
Yeah, I love Nancy Drew as well.
Yeah.
Now, one word similar to Ossie Moore that gave you trouble to spell in primary school. And can you spell it now?
Mississippi, MISSIPPI. When because I used to read the dictionary, and I used to read a lot, so spelling wasn't a problem for me. But Mississippi, oh my goodness, man, I can get that spelled until my teacher, Miss Smith, used a little, the MISSIPPI, and then I got that. Yeah, that was it.
Because thank you so much, Dale. No, we can't go without doing one of our book club regulars. And this book club game regular was called Simon Says. So, children, you have to listen closely because whoever gets the answer correct gets a prize. Now, you don't have to answer tonight because you have until next week to answer. So when you come in next week, you get a chance to win that prize. So Simon says, from the sea I am not. You can wrap me, tie me, and boil me in a pot, then eat me sweetly. Let me repeat it again. Simon says, from the sea I am not. You can wrap me, tie me, and boil me in a pot, then eat me sweetly. Who or what am I? Who or what am I? No. Remember, children and parents, to like, comment, and share our reading to the 246 on Facebook, Instagram, and I hope that you enjoyed this evening's show. Thank you so much for joining, Dale. Thank you, tell your dad. Thank you very much for allowing us to share his love of Ossie Moore with Barbadian children. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm hoping to be part of the next show as well. And thank you to everybody who came on and everybody who viewed. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.